Good afternoon and welcome to SAIT Newsfile. I'm Irene Tagama. Alex McLeod will have a look at the latest highlights later. What can we expect, Alex? Anything going on with the sports world right now?
Well, the Flames are on fire right now, so we'll definitely be taking a look at that, but we'll also be taking a look because the Curling Masters are coming back for this year.
That's great.
Yeah.
We will have a look at weather with Spencer Milkey later today, but first, here are today's top stories. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Ottawa is not looking for a fight with Alberta over the province's proposed sovereignty bill, but adds he will not take anything off the table. His comments came the morning after Alberta Premier Danielle Smith tabled the bill. On Tuesday, the UCP government proposed the Alberta Sovereignty Act within the United Canada Act. The province says that if passed, the act could be used to stand up to federal government interference in areas of provincial jurisdiction. Opposition voted against the first reading of the bill, saying the legislation could create uncertainty in Alberta's economic future.
It's very clear that Danielle Smith and the UCP want to give themselves dictatorial powers. That includes they want to be able to circumvent the authority of other orders of government. They want to cause chaos and distress, which is already driving a large number of people away from Alberta.
Any act that's going to say we're going to cherry pick which laws apply to, which federal laws apply in Alberta is some sort of opt-out clause that doesn't exist in our federation. And look, I grew up in the Lougheed era when I saw Premier Lougheed, take swipes at the federal government over legitimate grievances that the province had, and the Prime Minister of the day worked it out with the Premier of the day, but inside the context of a strong federation and a stronger Canada.
The act would give Cabinet the power to change legislation by order in Council. 14 Métis communities are threatening legal action against a proposed constitution that would allow the communities to have self-government. Ratifying the Optimisiwak Métis government constitution would turn the MNA into an official government with 4 branches and would subdivide the territories of the Métis Nation into districts with their own council. The 14 Métis communities and settlements, including Fort McKay Métis Nation, Lac Saint-Am Métis Community Association, and Lethbridge Métis Local, have opposed the constitution. The redevelopment of SAIT's campus center is in full effect, and many students are looking forward to the sleek and modern look. But one of the main concerns in redeveloping the building is the accessibility around SAIT. DJ Todd reports.
SAIT is in the initial phase of a multi-year project to redevelop the campus center. Following a partial closure on August 1st, only the wellness center, including the gymnasium and the fitness area, will remain open for students and staff. One of the early concerns of the construction is the lack of accommodations for handicaps, especially when it comes to the wellness center, as the only entrance available is full of stairs with no handicap accommodations. SAIT recognizes the issue at hand, but says the problem is only temporary.
So while it's definitely a concern for SAIT, it's also one of the key driving factors around why we need a new campus center and why the redevelopment has actually started to take place.
SAIT encourages any individuals directly impacted by the lack of accessibility contact accessibility services to opt out of any campus fees that aren't being used by them. SAIT has always taken the health and safety of students very serious, and although one of the driving factors to the campus reconstruction is the current accessibility issues, the initial scope for the project is approximately 4 years, and for some students with disabilities, that couldn't come fast enough.
Not the most, newest campus in the world, which obviously nobody's fault, but I mean, just like, any other building in Calgary, you could always improve the wheelchair accessibility.
Even though there's a lot of problems with the current situation, there's also a lot of good coming out of the reconstruction. SAIT is dedicated to promoting health and wellness for its students moving forward with the improvement of its campus facilities. From SAIT Newsfile, I'm DJ Todd.
Over the last couple of weeks, thousands of kids have been missing school due to illness. The flu season has been unusual than before. Reporting live from the newsroom is Will Manzuk. Will, what can you tell us?
Well, Irene, the number of kids missing school is really disturbing. In Edmonton alone, nearly 20,000 students missed in November. Absences in school are at an alarming rate due to schools not only dealing with COVID-19, but also with influenza and respiratory syncytial virus. Alberta Health Services are now beginning to investigate the infectious disease outbreak, and doctors are saying this has been the worst start to the flu season. The Edmonton School Board is asking for the province to bring back the mask mandate, but some people don't think it's a good idea.
No, I don't think I would, just because I feel like the mask isn't as effective as things like getting vaccinated and washing your hands and being aware of how you feel and how people around you feel, I feel like is much more effective than just putting a cloth over your mouth.
As you can see, Irene, students are concerned about the increase in illnesses, but don't think bringing back the mask mandate is the way of prevention.
That was Will Manzak reporting live from the newsroom. Thanks, Will. Stay safe and get vaccinated if you haven't done it yet. Calgary police is seeking the public's help in looking for a missing senior fast. 83-year-old Shira Kurji left her house around 15th Avenue Southwest last Thursday and hasn't returned since. Police believes she was not dressed for the cold weather as well. Kurji is described as 5'1", slim build, brown eyes, and thin black hair. And those are today's top stories. We'll have your full forecast after the break. But first, Spencer Milkey has the look at what's going on in this Calgary this week.
Trying to relive some Stampede memories? Head down to the Jubilee, where iconic band Blue Rodeo is having a 2-day extravaganza. You can hear hits like Try live, as well as potential snips of the new album Many Mile. Since December is upon us, it's Christmas season. Glow Calgary is making its debut as a potential Christmas tradition. Celebrate Christmas around the world and experience different cultures before landing in the North Pole to meet the one and only Saint Nick. If board games and beers are up your alley, Tailgunner Brewing is bringing the best of both worlds with their boards and groups event. The best part if you're a non-alcohol enthusiast is you don't need to pay a games fee to enter. If you're hungry and looking to make a change, Real Men Breakfast is the event for you. Real stands for respect, empathy, authenticity, and leadership. It focuses on men coming together to tackle mental health. Need a new hobby while stuck inside during these frigid temperatures? Making your own cutting board will create a new love for charcuterie. Because who doesn't love cheese, meat, and little utensils to brighten up those winter blues?
Welcome back. I know I could use some charcuterie in this cold weather. Looking at the west side of the country over here, we have a high pressure system coming up from BC all the way up, and that's keeping general warm temperatures here in Vancouver. We also have a jet stream from Edmonton all the way down to Winnipeg, and that's causing for that snow to stick around and the temperatures to be pretty stagnant. Across the country, we're looking at a low pressure system from St. John's to northern Winnipeg, and that's keeping it cold in St. John's. And there's actually some rain in Toronto, which is a little unusual for December now. Now let's go somewhere that's a little warmer.
Palm Springs is having themselves a happy holidays, relaxing at 21 degrees. Barbados and Cancun are HOT hot at 28 and 29 respectively. Honolulu is sitting at 22, but has experienced side effects from the recent volcanic eruption. Orlando is at 24 with sunny skies, and Vegas is a little colder than usual at 16 degrees.
In Calgary today, it's currently minus 18 and snowing, but that strong wind is making it feel more like minus 30. And over the weekend and the rest of the week, we're gonna hit those winter blues. Across the province, we have our low up in Grand Prairie here at minus 21, and there's snow all around, all the way down to Lethbridge, which is gonna be our high at minus 15. So it's a chilly one. I recommend bundling up. I know I am. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Tonight, we have the low at minus 23. Tomorrow, it's gonna be pretty similar and that snow sticking around. Saturday, the sun is coming up with a high at minus 16, and Sunday, the high is minus 5, so we're trending in the right direction there. But Monday, it hits us hard again. We're snowing again, but the temperatures are staying pretty warm at minus 3. Next up, we have Alex McLeod with some sports.
I used to hear voices. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I don't matter. Walked around in circles, didn't know where to go, until I found my purpose. Through people that helped me live a better life and build a better future. Now I could finally see that I'm able, capable, and worthy.
Come and learn the fast-paced world of television production. Find your passion to write, shoot, edit, and direct news, sports, and dramatic productions. With industry-standard technology and the best instructors in the business, SAIT's television production program teaches you everything you need to know for a career in broadcasting. This is television production. Come and dare to be on air.
Welcome back to SAIT Newsfile. Alex McLeod joins us now for a look at the latest highlights. What's happening right now, Alex?
Well, the Flames are playing really well right now. They're on fire, and we'll also take a look at our Trojans. They're not doing too hot. The SAIT women's hockey team was back in action against our rivals up north, the NAIT Ooks. NAIT did start off strong, scoring the first goal in the first period. NAIT did score another quickly after, but Trojans' Piper Alexander got a breakaway and a good handle on the puck, scoring 1 point for SAIT. Picking up again in the third, NAIT Cassidy's Chandro broke away, adding another to the scoreboard. 2 more goals were quickly scored by NAIT, with the final being scored again by Cassidy Chandro. SAIT did fall short this game with a final score of 6-1. Both teams had unassisted goals, but NAIT's Cass Little made her mark with assists on 3 goals. The Calgary Flames were on fire last night as they faced off against the Florida Panthers. Flames player Dylan Dubé started the game off with a goal 3 minutes into the first. The Flames were able to score 2 more in the first before the Panthers showed their teeth, scoring quickly in the second. After some rushing and some crazy playing, Flames' Brett Ritchie scored a goal, obtaining the 3-goal lead back for the Flames. Panthers scored their last goal of the night in the second. The Flames picked up again in the third, with the final goal being scored by Andrew Mangiapane. The Flames burned the Panthers with a final goal of 6-2. Dylan Dubé was the star of the game with 1 goal and 2 assists. Calgary will host Montreal tomorrow night. The Toronto Raptors came out bearing their claws as they took on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Raptors' Pascal Siakam returned after missing 10 games for an injury. Siakam came back to the court strong, scoring the first basket for Toronto. Things picked up in the second with a 3-pointer scored by Scotty Barnes. When things were tied, Siakam quickly scored another 3-pointer for the Raptors. In the third quarter, Toronto was able to turn the play over. OG Anunoby dunked the ball as the Raptors kept their lead until the end. Toronto came out on top with a final score of 188 to 100. Both teams take to the court tonight. Let's hope the Raptors keep the win streak going. Canada is heading into their final game in this year's FIFA World Cup. This year was the first time in 36 years that Canada has qualified. Canada took to the pitch against Belgium last Wednesday. Canada got a chance to add a penalty kick, but unfortunately missed. Belgium scored 1 goal, securing a win for Belgium. Last Sunday, Canada faced off against Croatia. Canada scored the first goal with a header by Alphonso Davies. Croatia quickly took to the lead, winning the game 4-1. Canada will head into their final game tomorrow morning as they take on Morocco. The final games have been released for the 2022 Curling Masters. 16 of the top teams from both men's and women's have been selected. 7 teams from Canada are set to play for both men's and women's. The men's lineup is diverse with players representing 7 different countries. The women's division has 1 less country but welcomes Japan. Games will be taking place between December 6th until the 11th. And that's a look at sports.
Wow, curling is finally back, hey?
Yeah, I can't believe it's December 1st already. Christmas is 24 days away. I can't believe it.
Yeah, me either, Len. And speaking of cold season, it's cold right now, obviously. And so, Spencer, would you remind us again what's going to happen for the next 5 days?
Yeah, we got a lot of snow in the coming weather. Tonight we have the low at -23, and tomorrow it's not looking too much better. Obviously over the weekend, it's going to be some nice sunny weather. You might be able to get outside, hit the outdoor rink. But Monday we're hitting some snow again with a high at -3, which is not necessarily too ideal.
Yeah, definitely the weekend doesn't look too good to me, but once that Monday -3 comes, hopefully we can start losing a couple layers and not bundling up so much.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of looking like a burrito or a shawarma. I want to look okay right now and dressed up for the weather. And thank you so much for having us. Thanks for